flour end of the apple out, and then just use your knife to cut the inside. So you don't want super thick slices for this, you really want thin slices. I probably, maybe will only use a half of an apple. So I'm gonna put that, slice it into a bowl. And I like to work quickly when I do this so that my apples don't brown. Now, if you're gonna be taking a lot of time to do it, then I would suggest that you put some lemon juice on your apple. And since I'm not at my usual house and I don't have my lemon juice with me, I'm just gonna work quickly. I'm also using shredded cheese today, cheddar cheese. Any cheese will do, but I like the taste of cheddar with an apple. And you could use ham too. You don't have to use hot dogs, but I just happen to have those. And I'm trying to do some quick, inexpensive treats for my son and his fiance's friends. Okay, so I have my apples sliced and prepared. All right. And then I'm going to prep my hot dogs. And the way I'm going to prep my hot dogs is simply slicing them in half. You don't want a whole hot dog. These are finger food appetizers. You could even slice them in half again if you want it so that it's just actually a quarter of a dog. It'll make it easier for them to roll up in the crescent dough. And if you find that you run out, you have more hot dogs than you do crescent dough, and you don't know what to do with the others pieces of hot dog, you can always throw them in your lentil soup or in with bean soup. They pair very nicely together. So I'm just going to start with half a pack and see where I go with that. Okay, so then next I'm going to take my crescent dough and I'm going to open it up. And these I can prepare a little bit ahead of time. I'm not going to put them in until about 15 minutes before the company arrives, so that when they come out they're hot. I'm going to serve them on a plate with some spicy mustard for dipping sauce. All right, so as I unroll my crescent roll, I'm not going to use a full crescent for each one. So I'm going to need, I think there's 8 crescent rolls in here, so I will make 16 of these. So I'm going to take one sheet of crescent dough, and then I'm going to slice it in half, slice the triangle in half like this. Okay, so I have a strip. That's exactly half of the crescent. I'm going to take my flat side of my hot dog and leave it up so that I can put my apple slice with it. But actually, before I do that, I'm going to sprinkle cheddar cheese on the crescent. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to take my apple and hot dog and roll it up. Just like that. I'm going to put that on my cookie sheet. That'll go in the oven 15 minutes before company comes. So, a little bit of cheese, apple slice, and a hot dog. And you don't need a whole lot. You don't need to use the whole sheet of dough with it because you're just rolling it up. Like I said, it's meant to be an appetizer. So, you know, for appetizers, you know, you don't want to go overboard with it, especially if you're having a lot of food. People like to have a little taste of everything, and we're going to have a lot of different things here today. So we're going to make sure that people can taste everything, and those banh mi sandwiches are going to be a big hit. But again, I'm not going to make them real big like I normally would. I'm going to slice them down into sections so that people can enjoy a little bit of everything. Okay. Apple slice and hot dog. And then go ahead and roll that up. And if you happen to have some on the outside, some cheese on the outside, that's fine. Again, slice the crescent in half. And it doesn't have to be exact. And if you know, mix up the layer of how you do it, that's fine too. If you find that you're getting a lot of cheese on your board, you can actually just use the dough like that and put the cheese down. Because you don't need to have a ton of cheese. It's really just to kind of help it stick together, give it a little bit of flavor, you know, with the cheddar and the apple. So since I'm doing two, I'm going to do two at a time. It makes it easier. Put my hot dog down, my apple slice. So it looks like half an apple and half a pack is going to be exactly enough. And the more prep work you can do before company arrives, the better it is, because once people come, they're talking to you, they're milling about the kitchen, and you know, you can't get anything done. So it also helps to make a list of what you're going to prepare so that you know. So if they come in and they start talking to you, you're getting sidetracked, and you know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, what was I doing? You can just look at that list for reference. Okay, so we got our last 4 left. And it's really almost like strips of dough that you're using here. As you can see, they're not that big, which is fine, which is what you want. And just sprinkle the cheese liberally on these. And I don't worry about it getting exactly on the sheet, because when I roll it up from the board, the outside of the dough, I just kind of pat it down like that, and it sticks to the outside, and it kind of gives a prettier appearance when you do it like that. I have exactly enough here. So I need to make a little bit space. I'm going to turn those a little bit. I just need one more slice of apple. And then a little bits of extra cheese I'm just going to sprinkle on top. We're going to put those in a 400, just follow your recipe, 375 degree oven for 15 minutes. Then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done.